Hare Krishna. So, as we all know, in the last session we did how all the damsels of Raja, the gopis of Raja, were coming and complaining to Mother Yashoda that Krishna is stealing butter from their house. So one day, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, on the day of Deepavali in the morning, Mother Yashoda thought, today I must do something special for my Lala, for my Krishna, so that he doesn't go to anyone's house. So we'll start with the beautiful pastime of Krishna, that Mother Yashoda binds Krishna and how Krishna delivers two miscreants, you can say, whom Narad Muni cursed and blessed at the same time. So to keep the word of his devotee, how Krishna liberates Nal Kuvera and Mani. First we'll do Mangalacharya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopal Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So we'll start with Krishna book, chapter 9, how Maya Yashoda binds Krishna. So this is chapter 9, Krishna book, and here is the beautiful picturization of how what Maya Yashoda, Mother Yashoda is doing. If you all don't know what is pot and how in ancient India the butter was taken out. So it was the pot, and this is a rod, and this rod was pulled by a rope, and then this way the butter was made. So So here, chapter 9 describes that once upon a time, seeing that her maidservant was engaged in different household duties, Mother Yashoda personally took charge of churning butter. And while she churned butter, she sang the childhood pastimes of Krishna and enjoyed thinking of her son. So, Bhagavatam describes this very nicely as एकदा गृहदाशिषु यशोदानंद गेहि. एकदा गृहदाशिषु यशोदानंद गेहिनी कर्मांतर्नियुक्तासु निर्ममन्ता स्वयं दधी. यानि यानि हि गीतानि तद्बालचरितानि च दधिर्निर्मन्थने काले स्मरन्ति तान्यगायता. So what Mother Yashoda is doing once upon a time, it was not a daily routine. Once upon a time, she thought of churning butter for her dear Krishna, and she saw all the maid servants busy in this thing or that thing, because it was a Deepavali day. So everybody was cleaning house because so many guests will arrive. Nand Maharaj is the king of Vrindavan. So all the residents of Vrindavan, all the damsels of Vrindavan will be soon coming to pay respects, to give best wishes for Deepavali. So while chanting what Mother Yashoda was doing, so here Mother Yashoda teaches us that whether we are doing whatever, we are studying, going to office, in the bus, in MRT, or while traveling abroad, anything we are doing, what we can do, we can sing the glories of Krishna. And how will we sing? First, we have to hear. So what Mother Yashoda is doing? Yani yani hi Gitani. So she has made her own songs of glories of her son Krishna, and she is singing that. And Acharya says, wherever we sing glories of Krishna, Krishna arrives there on his own. Because wherever the Lord's name are chanted, that place is Vrindavan itself. So when mother was churning butter and she was remembering Krishna. Krishna, where was Krishna? Because it was 4 o'clock in the morning, Mother Yashoda took bath, got dressed up. She was wearing nice yellow sari, and she was wearing so many bangles, everything. So it was a nice kirtan going on, because in a sweet voice, Mother Yashoda is singing. Her bangles are jingling, her um, anklets are jingling, so everything is making a sweet sound. And on hearing this, Krishna came and Krishna held the rod. Why held the rod? Because he wanted Mother Yashoda to feed him, because he was hungry. So Mother Yashoda started feeding him. But then suddenly what happened? Mother Yashoda remembered that she had put milk on the gas for boiling. And the milk was coming up. And the slowly milk comes up, the mothers can hear that hissing sound. So not the hissing sound, that sound which it comes up, so it makes a typical sound which only mothers can make out, that it is coming up. So here acharyas say that why the milk was coming out, because everything in Vrindavan is has dedicated its life to Krishna, whether it's living or non-living. So now milk is thinking that Krishna is unlimited. Mother Yashoda's love for Krishna is unlimited. So Krishna will keep drinking, mother will keep giving him milk, then what will happen to me? Who will drink me? Where will I go? My life will be wasted, so let me get drowned. So he's trying to come up, and now when Mother Yashoda hears that sound, she puts Krishna aside and she goes to take out that butter from the gas. Sorry, goes to take out the milk from the gas. Now Krishna is very angry. He's saying, I came to mother. I am hungry. First of all, she's singing. So singing, Shravan Kirtan means what? You are inviting Krishna. So first of all, she was singing. Now I have come, and now even then I'm hungry. She went to take out that milk from the gas stove. So that milk has become more important. Children doesn't like when you give importance to something else than them. So what Krishna did, he picked up a stone and broke the pot. And when the pot broke, so all the milk and the curd and the whatever butter has been churned, it all spread on the floor. And then now Krishna was afraid, because now when we do mistake, we are not afraid. But after doing mistake, thinking of repercussions, then we are afraid. So now Krishna, now he walked away from there. When Mother Yashoda came back after some time, so she could not see her Krishna there. So now she concluded that the broken pot was his work. And now she's thinking, oh, he is very clever. He has done this thing, and now he has left. And we have to understand that Mother Yashoda is not living in like us in 1 BHK or 2 BHK house. She's living in a castle. And that time there was no phone, no WhatsApp calling. And so Maya Yashoda cannot find out where is Krishna. But then she saw small little footprints of Krishna, because he walked from, first he broke the pot, then he walked from that butter. So when he was walking away, so he stepped on that butter, and when he walked away, those days the floor was not cemented like nowadays. It was made of mud and the cow dung, and um, nicely done with the cow dung that floor was. And when Krishna walked on that, so his small little footprints were imprinted on that. So Mother Yashoda followed that, and then she saw what Krishna is doing. He climbed on a grinding motor. It was a big motor on which spices are being grinded. So it was a big motor. He climbed on that motor, and there was butter hanging on top. And he was eating butter from that. Not only he was eating, he was distributing it to the monkeys. Now mother was very angry. She said, not only he is eating, he is distributing it to monkeys. So whatever gopis were saying, the damsels of Raja yesterday were saying, so it was correct. So now I must punish him. I must teach him. Not because Mother Yashoda is angry or something, because Mother Yashoda is purely in transcendental love for Krishna, and she feels he is my little baby who needs to be taught what discipline is, because she thinks he is going to be the king tomorrow. So he should be disciplined. When the king is disciplined, the whole of the praja will be disciplined. Everyone in the township will be disciplined, and the whole township can continue living in a beautiful and amiable environment. So that's why she brought a stick. And now, when Mother Yashoda brought a stick, then Krishna, what he does, he started crying, because looking at the stick. No, no. So when Krishna saw Mother Yashoda has brought the stick, what he did, he jumped from the wooden motor, and okay, so here you can see the stick, and started running. So here you can see the Lord of the universe, from whom the fear personified, Yamraja is also fearful. The Lord of the universe is running out of fear from Mother Yashoda, and Mother Yashoda is trying to catch him. Supreme Lord, whom all the yogis, all the transcendentalists, all the you can say all the knowledgeable persons, all the mental speculators, they try to do so much of yoga, so much of meditation to achieve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they are not successful. Here, Mother Yashoda, out of her pure love for Krishna, she is running behind Krishna, and from behind she comes and she catches hold of Krishna. And when Mother Yashoda catches hold of Krishna, what Krishna is doing? So, in Damodar Ashtam, it has been described very beautifully. Dudantam Mohanetra Yukmam Rijantam Karam Bhujayudmena Satankanetram Mohoshvasakam Padideka Kakanta Sitagrivam Damodaram Bhaktibadam. So, Krishna, what he is doing? He is crying, Rudantam Muhu Netra Yukmam Rajantam. He is crying, and with his lotus hands, he is rubbing his eyes. And with fearful attitude, he is crying, crying, and crying. And so much of noise he is making. Children, when sometimes they are too much scared, if they are not scared, they want to avoid getting beaten by the parents or by punished, but at that moment what they do, they start making so much of noise, huffing and puffing from their mouth. So that's what Krishna is doing, and he is wearing 3-layered beads necklace, and that necklace is moving that much, he is making noise. So here Srila Prabhupada explains to us that yogis, mystics, they want to catch Krishna with great austerities and penances. They try to approach them, but they cannot. But here we are seeing that Krishna himself is caught by Yashoda. He was trying to run away in fear and he was caught by Yashoda Maya. So here we can understand that this is the difference between the Bhakta and the yogis. The yogis cannot reach Krishna, but for devotees like Mother Yashoda, if we are surrendered to Krishna, if lovingly we try to follow Krishna, then we can catch Krishna. We can attain the loving devotional service of Krishna. Here is, so here you can see Mother Yashoda comes from behind, catch hold of Krishna. She has a stick in her hand. And then what happens next? Because Krishna is so fearful and is crying, so Mother Yashoda is saying, no, no, I don't want my son to be scared of me. But he needs to be punished. He should know what is right, what is wrong, what he can do and what he cannot do. So she says, because you climbed on that grinding motor and then you performed all this mischief. So now I will tie you with that grinding motor. And when Mother Yashoda is trying to find Krishna, how big must be Krishna? He's a small boy, right? How big must be his belly? Only this much. So how much rope we need? Little only rope we need to tie him. But every time Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna, what was happening? The rope was getting 2 inches shorter. Maya Yashoda has so many cows in her house, not only one or two. They have, the Bhagavatam tells us they have 9 lakh cows. So how many rope must be there? And Mother Yashoda is trying to bind Krishna, and that rope is always 2 inches short. From morning, Mother Yashoda started in the morning, 4 o'clock, and now it's evening, and everyone, all the gopis, the dancers of Raja, everyone has come and they are giving different kinds of ropes to Maya Yashoda. So it has become a festival, that a rope festival is going on. Different ropes are coming and it is still 2 inches short. So what our Bhagavatam says that Swamatu Swinna Gatraya Vishrasta Kabara Sraja Vishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripya Asit Swabandhani. So here Bhagavatam tells us that by looking at the endeavor of Mother Yashoda, by looking at the perspiration on the face of Mother Yashoda, what Krishna is doing? Kripya Asit Swabandhani. By looking at the endeavor, the mercy reigns. So we problems will keep coming, but by looking at our endeavor, by looking at our surrender, that how much we want to remember Krishna, how much we love Krishna, by looking at that, what Krishna does, then Krishna showers the rain of mercy. So here, looking at the perspiration on the face of Mother Yashoda, what Krishna did, he got tied up. So one who is unlimited, who is unborn, that Krishna, out of love, out of pure love for Mother Yashoda, and Mother Yashoda, out of her love, she could bind Krishna. And then the Shastra says, Kripya Asit Swabandhani. Who is trying? Mother Yashoda is trying from morning to evening to bind Krishna. But here it's written Swabandhani. So we cannot achieve or we cannot attain love of Godhead by mere speculation, by mere endeavor, or by mere knowledge. It has to be mixed with loving devotional service. It has to be mixed with loving surrender, that yes, whatever it may be, Krishna, you are the one who can protect me from any kind of trials and tribulations. Any good thing happening to me is because of your mercy. Any adverse situations is because of my past fruitive activities. So if like this, when we surrender, then the rain of mercy will be poured on us. Right? So here Bhagavatam explains that Krishna, who is Paramatma, who controls the innumerable universes, that Krishna agrees to be controlled by a devotee. And Krishna can run at a faster speed than a mind. Mind runs with such a fast speed that if we think now of some place in Kerala, some place in Rameshwaram, so our mind will reach there only immediately. But and Krishna can move faster than that. And that Krishna was defeated by Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda captured him, right? And that then one more contradiction is that Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambramam Sedyamanam. Brahma Samhita says that Krishna is served by hundreds and thousands of goddess of fortune. And still he loves to steal butter from the neighborhood, right? Just to increase the transcendental pleasure of the damsels of Braja, right? And then one more, a fourth contradiction, what I told you was that Yamraj is the controller of death. So everybody is scared of Yamraj, but Yamraj himself is scared of Krishna. He fears the order of Krishna. And now here in his beautiful pastime, who is scared of whom? Can anyone tell me who is scared of whom? Krishna is scared of Mother Yashoda. And the stick of Mother Yashoda, from whom the fear personified is fearful, that Krishna is fearful of Mother's stick. And these are the beautiful contradictions which can be understood by a devotee only. Because a devotee knows how powerful is unalloyed devotional service to Krishna. And Krishna is the devotional service is so powerful that Krishna can be controlled by an unalloyed devotee. That's why Krishna is known as Vritya Vashyata. That is that does not mean he is under the control of the servant. Rather, he is under the control of servant's pure love. Right? So here one more point, this chapter 9 of Krishna book tells us that the kind of favor, the kind of mercy Krishna gave to Mother Yashoda is not achieved by even thousands of goddess of fortune serving Krishna in Vaikuntha, right? Because Bhagavatam says, Nayam sukhoku bhagavan dehinam gopika sutta Jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhakti matamiha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service. But he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or those who consider the body same as self. So what it means by the son of Yashoda, Sri Krishna is not available to tapasvis, jnanis, yogis, and other who are encaged in this bodily concept of life, that I am this body. And in chapter 2 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that we are not this body, we are the soul. So here Krishna explains that he is accessible only to devotees, only, and he surrenders only to the loving, pure devotion of his devotees. So here we saw how Mother Yashoda, out of her love, and how Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, got bound by Mother Yashoda to the mortar. And now, after getting bound by Mother Yashoda, Krishna thinks that since I was hungry, that's why I was crying. That's why I came to Mother Yashoda. Then she gave more importance to whom? She gave more importance to the milk. And she went there to take out the milk from the stove. Then I broke the pot, so she punished me. So now I must do something else. Because this is Krishna. So he says, now I must do something else. This is not enough. So then he remembered that his devotee Narada Muni has cursed and blessed at the same time to the two sons of Kuvera, Nal Kuvera and Mani Kuvera. So we are moving on to chapter 10 of Krishna book. So here, what happened one time? So, okay. So the two great demigods, Nal Kuvera and Mani Kuvera, they were who? They were the sons of treasurer of the demigods Kuvera, who was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So, by the grace of Lord Shiva, Kuvera's material opulences had no limit. So here Srila Prabhupada explains us that material opulence is the greatest hindrance in the progression of devotional service. So here it's written, as a rich man's son often become addicted to wine and women, so these two sons of Kuvera were also addicted to wine and sex. So once these two demigods, desiring to enjoy, entered the garden of Lord Shiva in the province of Kailasha on the bank of Mandakini Ganges. So here we must understand that since their father, Kuvera, was the treasurer of demigods and devotee of Lord Shiva, that's why these two gentlemen, Nal Kuvera and Mani Kuvera, got the entry permit, or you can say got the license to enter the Kailash Parvat on where if any normal human being will try to enter that, that he will be prosecuted. Entry, restricted entry. So, but out of their material opulence and because of a rich father, they and being father, their father being devotee of Lord Shiva, they got the entrance to Kailash mountain and on the bank of Mandakini Ganges. So here we must note that the Ganges is the purifying river. People go there to get rid of their bad karmas, bad activities. But here, what they are doing, they have drank much Varuni liquor and they are enjoying with women and wine. And that garden is so beautiful. It is full of fragrant flowers. So everything is intoxicated there. So mind as it is not in control. But when the weather and environment favors, then everything goes beyond the limit. So they were enjoying as a male elephant enjoys female elephants within the water. So suddenly there, sage Narada, he appeared. So the girls, they tried to cover their body. But these two, Nalkuvera and Maniviva, they were so much engrossed in their, you can say they were so much in pride in their material opulence that they thought they don't have to pay obeisances, they don't have to welcome anyone, and that too a great sage Narada. So this is what happens when too much pride creeps in. So that's why it is said that material opulence is the greatest hindrance to progression of devotional service, because opulent person forgets how to behave. So here in the previous lessons, we have learned how we should receive any guest to our houses, how Nanda Maharaj received Gargamuni, as if God himself has reached to his house. So why it is said that we should receive them with respect to our house? Because in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koe, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha. So if we associate with saints who have dedicated their life in propagating the message of Krishna consciousness, the message to get liberated from this life cycle of birth and death. So if we get even a little bit association with these saints, then what happens? Then our life becomes successful. So wherever Narada Muni goes, any moment at which he appears should be considered auspicious. And he doesn't appear everywhere and every time. Only the fortunate souls get his mercy. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it has also been said that Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. So all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. As we have earlier also discussed, there were 84 lakh species of life. So we have been wandering in those species of life according to our karmas, according to our actions. Sometimes we go up and then we come back again to this earth. But those who are fortunate souls, what do they get? They get mercy of Guru, like Narada Muni. And then with the mercy of saints and the mercy of Krishna, what happens? The seed of devotional service is sown in our heart. And as with the Shravana and Kirtana, we grow that seed, then slowly our bhakti, our devotional service, our loving surrender to Krishna increases. So here, Narada Muni, when he saw the two boys, Nalkuvira and Manigriva, so much engrossed in their pride, in their material opulence, and being negligent to the arrival of a saint. So what he did, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here explains that when a child has a fever, right? So doctor says after 6 hours, you must give him medicine. And the child is sleeping. So what father does? He let the child sleep? No. What he does? The father pinches him so that he wakes up, take the medicine. So here Narada Muni, that's why cursed these two boys similarly to wake them up, to bring them back to senses, because they were falsely proud of their riches. And so Narada Muni just woke them up. To woke them up, he cursed them. And he said, because of so much of accumulation of wealth, what they have done, they don't even want to cover their body. So he said, this first thing we have to understand that who this body belongs to. We think this is our body we have created. Actually, you have created, or this body has been created by the father who has given the seed, who is the seed giving master of the body, or the mother who develops the child body in a who does the body belong to? So just to keep up this body, just to keep up the opulence of this body, just to arrange for different kind of wealth to maintain this body, people in this world do so many kind of things which are not suggested by the scriptures. What they do, they open the slaughterhouses, they kill the animals, and then they feel, okay, by doing this, we are trying to satisfy our senses and we'll become stronger. So actually, when a thing doesn't belong to you, we don't have right to exploit it. So, okay, let's talk about others' bodies later. First, we'll talk about our own body. Our own body is not in our control. Suppose you want to eat 10 gulab jamuns today. So you tell your body, okay, I have lunch, I have dinner, but now I want to eat 10 gulab jamun. You make space, dear stomach, I'm eating. Can you? No. If you, some people who get paralysis or who get some other diseases, if they tell, no, this is my body, my hand, start working, will it start work? No. So that means even our own body is not in our control. Even the digestion of our body, the system which is working inside our body is not in our control. What happens to body then? So here in Bhagavatam, it has been explained that what happens to body at the end of life. At the end of life, what happens? That body is cremated, so or burned in fire. So what happens? It turns to ashes. Then sometimes body is thrown into the street. So then what happens? Then it is eaten by dogs and vultures. So that is the end result of this body. And to maintain that body, we are doing all kind of sinful activities. We are killing innocent animals. We are trying to play around with others' emotions just to prove that we are more opulent, more wealthier, and we have power to control them. For what? For this body which doesn't belong to us. So we have to understand ultimately whom this body belongs to. So here Srila Prabhupada explains that ultimately it is concluded that body is a product of material nature. And in the end, it merges into material nature. So here, the conclusion is that the body belongs to material nature. So we should not falsely think that it belongs to us. And to maintain a possession which is itself not real, why should indulge in killing? And here, two things we have to understand. First, material nature works under the jurisdiction of Lord Sri Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Sucharacha, that this material nature works under my instructions. So ultimately, this body has been given to us by Krishna. So we, instead of indulging in sinful activities and again getting entangled in this cycle of birth and death, what we should do? We should be grateful to the Supreme Lord for giving us this opportunity to, in which we can remember Him, serve Him, and go back to God. Because it's written in Shastras that animal killing is prohibited. So we are, whatever activity we are doing, that supreme controller is residing in our heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam vide deshe arjuna tishtati. He's sitting within the core of everyone's heart. And every bit of activity we are doing is being observed by him. And he rewards or punishes according to that. So, sinful persons automatically receive punishment in different type of bodies. And what is the root cause of this punishment? Is when unnecessarily we accumulate wealth, we become more and more degraded. So animal killing, that's why is prohibited. Na sadhu manne yata atmanoyam asan api kleshada asaddeha. So, but then you will say, oh, we have to eat something. Yes, to maintain this body, we have to eat something, but we should understand what kind of food can be eaten. So devotees only accept the food which has been served to Krishna, and then they take it as prasada for Krishna. So because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam asnami prayatatmanaha. Krishna says, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a fruit, a flower, or water, whatever is under your limited this availability, Krishna says, whatever you offer with love, I will accept it. And what I will give in return? I will give you the devotional service in return. So that's why the devotees, they don't eat anywhere. They eat when they cook everything lovingly for Krishna, thinking about Krishna, what Mother Yashoda is doing. She's taking out butter, then also she's not listening to any Bollywood, Hollywood songs or thinking about this one, that one. Oh, that one was looking smart. Oh, this music is nice. Let me finish this first, then I can hear that music, or I can watch a movie after this. No, she's doing it lovingly, patiently, faithfully, just to serve Krishna. And she is singing about the glories of Krishna. So that is the way is recommended in Shastras for us to perform our work. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Nati ashnastu yogosti na chekantam anashnataha na chati swapna shilasya jagato neva charjam. That if we don't control our tongue, we don't control our senses, then there is no possibility of our becoming a yogi. How? Because if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep at all, then there is no chance of that person becoming a yogi. So this is what Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. So that's why to live this life peacefully, to understand what Krishna means by giving us all these instructions is the actual goal of life. So here Narada Muni says to remain in the poverty-stricken condition is kind of austerity. So the Brahmanas keep themselves in a poverty-stricken condition to save themselves from the false prestige of material opulence. Unless we are under the grip of this false prestige, we cannot break free and come out of this grip and understand and follow the instructions of Krishna. So poverty stricken here we have to understand is not that you don't have, actually you should not have money. No, poverty stricken here is one who is devoid of love of Krishna. So we don't want material opulence. We want spiritual opulence. So what is spiritual opulence? That free from all kind of anger, envy, greed, and to be ready to receive Krishna in our heart. So here Srila Prabhupada explains to be poor is what that a saints, just now we explained, sadhu sanga sarva shastra koe, lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoye. That if we get even a trace of association of a saintly person, of a Vaishnava, then our life will be successful. But if we are materially rich, those kind of householders, what they put outside their houses, beware of dogs. Beware of dogs. Which dog? The ones who are inside, or what they mean to say that the one, or they have kept real dogs. So okay, so jokes apart. So, but the poor persons, they are always open to receive the saints because they are so busy in their daily activities. So when they see some saints, so they feel obliged to serve them so that they can give them some tips how to get out of this material entanglement. But the material opulence and prestige makes these persons bereft of the association of saintly persons and the devotees of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Narada Muni, being a very kind devotee of the Lord who wants to deliver everyone from this material entanglement, he thought, now these two brothers, because they want to stay naked, so let me make them trees. Because trees have very lower consciousness. So he said, okay, you don't want to wear clothes. So this is a good example what Prabhupada says that the more nakedness in this lifetime, in the next lifetime, you can understand what we are going to do. So here, Srila Prabhupada is saying that Narada Muni, out of his causeless mercy, what he did, he turned them into trees. But by the grace of the Lord, they remembered that what they have done. And Narada Muni made them trees for 100 years. But we have to understand what Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukhdev Goswami, that why a sage who is a well-wisher, a beneficiary of all the conditioned souls, why he cursed Nal Kuvera and Manigriva? Because the saints have control, full control over their senses. So anger, lust, greed doesn't touch them also. Then why Narada Muni was like that? So here, in Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada explains that Sukhdev Goswami said when we meet some sages, so even if they curse them, that is for our curse us, that is for our benefit, because in that some benediction is hidden. So here, what benediction was hidden for Nal Kuvera and Manigriva? That they will be blessed with the direct darshan of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So here now Krishna remembers that my dear devotee, Narada Muni wanted to uh, free these two boys, Nal Kuvera and Mani Griva, wanted to liberate them. Although I don't have anything to do with them, neither with their opulence nor with their opulent father. But because Nalkuvira and Manigriva, here we have to understand that they are not devotees of the Lord and they have not performed any austerities, but just by the association, and that association also they didn't took, but just by the merciful glance of a devotee, they got a chance to have a direct darshan of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna, he was tied to the motor. I'll try and see if the picture is here. Share. He was tied to the motor and he was trying to move the motor. So you can see this motor here being tied here. So these two demigods are like these two trees for thousands of years, and Krishna, crawling with the motor, he moved, the motor was stuck between the two trees. So Krishna just pulled a little, and they were not very small trees or something. For thousands of years, very tall trees, that Yamala, Arjuna trees, were standing there, and Krishna just pushed little and the trees fell down. And from that, two demigods, two beautiful, effulgent demigods, they came out. And they were paying obeisances to Krishna. So here we can understand, not by opulence, not by maintaining body, not by yogis, not by mystics, not by meditation. Krishna can only and only be achieved by loving, pure loving devotional service. And so that's why we should always be ready to invite sages to hear their instructions, those who have devoted their lives to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. We should hear and follow the instructions. So here, these two, Nal Kuvera and Mani Gruva, who have been converted to Yamala Arjuna trees, they are praying to Krishna. So there are many beautiful prayers. So we'll just go through one or two, keeping time in mind. So they say, Nama Parama Kalyana, Nama Parama Mangala, Vasudevaya Shantaya, Yadunam Pataye Namaha. So what they are saying, O supremely auspicious one, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you, who are the supreme good. O most famous descendant and controller of the Yadu dynasty, O son of Vasudeva, Vasudeva Shantaya, O most peaceful one. So, Yadunam Pate Namaha. What we are doing, we are paying obeisances unto your lotus feet. Please accept. Right? So now they understood this, Nalkuvera and Manigriva understood that this is the plan of Krishna only to liberate them from their material entanglement. Because nothing in this world moves without the sanction of Krishna. So now they understood it. So with all the gratitude and obligation and lovingly they are paying obeisances at the lotus feet of the Lord. And then after paying obeisances, after singing glories of the Lord, that He is the most worshipable one, He is the one who is the deliverer of the fallen souls, He is the one who is present as super soul in all the living entities, and he is the one who creates and highlights and maintains this universe. And now they have understood that what that body they have received by his mercy is meant for, to attain the love of Godhead. So at the end, when they, after paying obeisances like this, Krishna tells them that, okay, just 1 second, we'll go back to database. So when they have finished paying obeisances like this, then Krishna tells them a very beautiful thing, which is here. So here Srila Prabhupada beautifully writes, Lord Krishna, the master and proprietor of Gokula, bound to the wooden grinding motor by the ropes of Yashoda, smiled and said, Krishna's is Krishna's smile can make everybody go mad. Then we don't need any liquor, any madness available in this material world. Just if you see the beautiful lotus-like face of Krishna and that beautiful lotus-like smile, that's enough for this mind to go mad like a honeybee goes around the fragrant flowers. So here Krishna smiled and said, he's bound in the wooden motor. So one who is liberator of all, is bound to the wooden grinding motor and is liberating others in that position also. So over here, Srila Prabhupada tells us that Lord is Lord in each and every circumstance, whether he's a small baby, whether it's bound to the wooden grinding motor, whether it's a chariot driver for Krishna, for Arjuna. So in every situation, Lord is all powerful. So Krishna tells them that all these things are already known to me, my great devotee Narada. And because he has shown his causeless mercy by saving you from that abominable condition of pride, because you had so much of beauty and so much of opulence and you were born in family of demigods. That's why everything was so perfect for you to get bound in prestige and beauty and opulence and forget the real purpose of life. But by the mercy of Narada Muni, you are able to see me face to face. So here Krishna tells very beautiful thing that sunlight is available everywhere. When sun comes, he doesn't say, okay, I'll go to this person's house, I'll not go to this person's house. Sun doesn't discriminate, but it is we who doesn't want the sunlight to stay inside the house. We don't want to go out and try and approach the saints. We don't want to go out and have the direct darshan of Arch Vigraha in the temples and sit there and listen Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and understand what this life, this body is meant for. So that's why we are deprived of that sunlight. So here Krishna is saying, because of association of a sadhu, you are so fortunate that you are able to see me face to face. So Nalkuvira and Manigriva, with a very beautiful prayer, they went back to their abode. So here they say, Vani gunanu kathane shravano kathayam hastau cha karmasu manasva padayona smrityam shirasva nivasa jagat praname drishti satam darshanestu bhavatanunam. So what it means, they are saying Vani Gunanu Katme. They are saying कि may all our words describe your pastimes. Then Shravano Kathayam, and our ears should always be engaged in oral reception of your glories. So these ears, if they don't hear the glories of Krishna, then they are just like the ear holes in a shell. So if we want to utilize the real and know the real purpose of all our senses of this body, then it is in this prayer. We are saying, may all our words describe your pastimes, our ears engage in hearing about your glories, and may our hands, legs, and senses engage in pleasing you. And how will all these things be possible? We just say, okay, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this. And then the next minute we are saying, okay, nice message in WhatsApp. Chalo, let's go and check it. Okay, nice movie is coming. Oh, that friend is going for party. Let me also join them. Why? Because our mind is not control. So they say mana smrityam shirastva. So our mind should always think of your lotus feet. When our mind will always think of your lotus feet, then only it is possible for us to engage. It is possible for our different senses to engage in your loving service. And then they say one last thing, the most effective, the most affectionate thing, that may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are non-different from you. So they were blessed by whom? By the Lord himself? No, they were blessed by a Vaishnava, by a devotee of the Lord, he was so merciful that even though they didn't pay respect to him, they didn't welcome him, even though he was so merciful that in his curse only his benediction was hidden. So that's why it says sadhu sanga sarva shastra koe lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi. And Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. Only some few fortunate souls get this opportunity to associate with the sadhus, to hear, to actually utilize our eyes, ears, nose, and our different senses and this body to serve the Lord. That is the real purpose. The real purpose is not to kill others by tongue, by action, or by our words, so that then we get entangled more and more in fruitive activities. The real purpose of this life is to be grateful to the one who has given us this body. So the real purpose of having this body is to read, is to Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, is to hear, is to glorify, is to chant the glories of the Lord, and continuous meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord and go back to God. So please remember, so this was 10th chapter this week, Monday to Friday. We did 5 chapters starting from Putna Vad to deliverance of Nal Kuvera and Manigriva. So we will be having quiz on Sunday and timings will be shared. So please join. You can revisit all the videos. You can get ready. You can buy the Krishna book, The Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then you can go through all the chapters, be prepared, and come for the quiz. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining. See you next week, same time, same place, with another new pastimes, beautiful pastimes of